It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff show, 6:04. And today, a busy day, a sad day, a day to reflect on the work of James Earl Jones, and a day to reflect on those we've loved and lost. A day to reflect on, we have listener court coming up on fairness and caring.
Yeah.
It's going to be a theme to the show.
Yeah.
And it starts with opening audio, Jeff.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this one's getting you right in the feels today.
Yeah,
huh?
this is a getting you in the feels kind of show today.
Okay, all right.
And, we know that Glenn enjoyed his Glenn scoop yesterday for his scoop of ice cream. If you listen at this time, you know our opening audio, we give you scoops of ice cream. But coming up, we're going to be talking about a breakup, a croissant, and a Johnson.
So you mean a croissant, if you would just want to be like a normal human being and stop trying to be cute.
In France, they say
You're not
a croissant.
in France. You're not in France.
Yeah, but that's...
You're in Asheville, North Carolina.
I get it, but they say croissant.
All right, okay.
All right, and in a foodie town, I bet you more people say croissant than croissant.
I bet you they don't.
You don't think so?
And I bet you generally people haven't had a croissant in a while. Okay.
All right, well, we'll find out. Opening audios next. We got a triple scoopy ending with Johnson, a commercial from the 80s that when you think about the tagline and then we'll tell you what it is, you're going to go, ooh.
See, but nobody thought that way then.
And this is the problem. We have dirty, dirty minds.
Yep. Oh, you'll hear this one.
No,
all
it's
right.
dirty. All right. Rest in peace, James. It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff show. It is time to start you off with opening audio. Not one, not two, but 3 delicious scoops of audio just for you.
God, you wait for it every day, and you just hope and you pray for 3. Some days we let you down and give you 2, but lately, I got to tell you, that guy over there, Rizzo, he's been hitting you with 3 on the dome every morning. Here you go, 3 scoops of audio for you.
It's time for opening audio here on the Rizzo and Jeff show. A fun, funny way to start your day on 105.9 The Mountain.
Our first scoop takes us to a wedding. A man and his wife end up going. And I got to tell you, while this is mean, this is an ingenious way to do this. If you are to be cheating, this might be the way to tell them. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we go to this party. I did not want to go, but he was really adamant on going. And we get to the party. He takes off. He's a social butterfly. He's talking to everyone. So I'm at the bar getting a drink, and I get approached by this girl. And for some god-awful reason, we got on the subject of her love life. And she starts raving about this guy she just started seeing. And then she says, he's actually here tonight. And then she says, well, he doesn't want anything serious right now, so I'm not supposed to be talking about us, but I'll just point him out so you can see what he looks like. So she points behind me. The only one standing behind me is my husband. I don't see anyone there. And she goes, yeah, the blonde one. And I'm like, no wonder he's not ready for a relationship. He's married to me. Puts her hand on my shoulder and says, I know. And as that's happening, my husband comes up behind me, puts his hand on my other shoulder and goes, we've been meaning to talk to you.
I mean, listen, don't let him, listen, look, that's rough. That's a rough go.
So he sends her in
as like a decoy to do girl chat, and then he walks up behind her like a creeper, and then he puts his hand on her other shoulder and goes, we've been meaning to talk.
Brutal.
Like, but it was well executed. That's why it made our first scope.
Yeah, well,
That was a big scope.
well, if you're going to admit to the cheat, at least he was going to admit to it, right?
Well,
He
yeah,
uses the girl to
yeah.
go in first, and then he comes in after the fact and says, all right, sweetheart, we need to chat, basically. And that was it.
It was the we needed to talk, but to have the girl in there and then the fact that she knew, I mean, again, terrible. I feel awful. I mean, getting cheated on is not fun, but if you're going to do it, that was a... it was a decent way. It was a decent way of letting somebody know.
I'm sure she feels like $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for opening audio here on the Rizzo and Jeff show. A fun, funny way to start your day on 105.9 The Mountain.
No, I say croissant. there's a woman. Now, we've been having a lot of Temu problems. And Temu, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a website where you buy, lamps and stuff like that, but it's really cheap. It's sort of like a...
Well, it's in China.
It is.
So it's got to go through customs when you order everything,
Yeah, so people order a lot of stuff from there. People have been saying there's bugs, there's this, there's that. So there's a lot of weird stuff. But this lady ordered a lamp that was shaped like a croissant. Well, what she didn't realize was that they took a croissant.
A croissant. It's a croissant.
And
you would go to Burger King and get a breakfast sandwich on a croissant. It's a croissant.
And he put a lamp through the croissant.
Right. Yeah.
They put a lamp through the croissant. Okay.
There's a T at the end.
And then they just said, plug it in. And this is what happened.
I got this Temu lamp as a gift, and I had it in my room. I came home from work after the hot day, and there was hundreds of ants underneath it. I'm almost wondering if this is a real croissant covered in resin. I just poked a bigger hole. Are you actually joking me? That looks like pastry. Look at the crumbs. I guess there's one way to truly know, and that crumb just came out of there. It's literally food.
So it's a lamp.
So when they ordered a croissant lamp, they actually took a croissant. They stuck a thing through it and put it in the mail. You got to give it to them. This is another got to give it to them.
You got to keep it at this point, right?
Well, it's eaten. Right. And there's ants on it.
I'm on Temu now. Let me see. I don't see it on here now.
Do you see the croissant?
No, I don't see it on here. It's probably gone at this point, but that's
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? That's like I don't know, ordering like a banana pillow and then literally just sending you a banana.
Okay, but
with a pillowcase.
But generally, did you get what you asked for? And
the answer is yes. What? The answer is a resounding yes. Yes, absolutely.
It's time for opening audio here on the Rizzo and Jeff Show. A fun, funny way to start your day on 105.9 The Mountain.
This last example is where we were during the Reagan administration, where we were as Americans versus where we are today. This, an advertisement for a boat company. And innocent commercial, aired on television, loved it. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, through the eyes of 2024, it carries a different meaning. And I don't know if I'm sad about that or not. It's a great commercial.
Yeah.
Saturday nights, distant lights, you, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
So just to clarify, I'll play it one more time. It's short.
Saturday nights, distant lights.
You and your girl and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
So basically what they're saying is you and your girl and your Johnson, a.k.a. your Johnson boat, Johnson boat's a way of life for 50 years. Saturday night, you and your girl and your Johnson boat.
You know what ruined this? I'm going to tell you exactly what ruined it.
Oh,
and it used to be a brand. It had to be the early 90s, Big Johnson clothing. So what you would do is you'd buy the Big Johnson shirt.
And then
they would kind of make the funny joke somehow, And so everybody had those types of shirts.
Yeah.
And generally, they were good for a little bit. Then they moved into the DXL, the big community. Then the big community was wearing the Big Johnson shirts. So it was all ruined by Big Johnson clothing, yeah.
So it was Big Johnson's fault.
It was Big Johnson's fault.
So without Big Johnson...
Saturday nights, distant lights, you, your girl, and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
A way of life.
Yeah, not a way of life anymore.
No, it is not.
No, it is not.
The Rizzo and Jeff Show. One loves Frasier, and the other's still into wrestling. Who's who? Find out more interesting tidbits about them every morning right here on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show. Time for the J&N, brought to you by good friends at Train Heating and Cooling Systems. They are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you because we run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer because it's hard to stop a train.
The JNN. No longer Asheville's newest, but still least reliable news outlet. Guys, can't we just tell them to go to 828news.com? All right, fine. The JNN Jeff News Network is ready to inform, enlighten, and, well, keep trying anyways. The JNN is on 105.9 The Mountain now.
So the big story over the weekend, as the NFL had kicked off, was the detainment of Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill as he was pulled over for what they're saying is, just a traffic violation. And he was pulled over for it, pulled out of the car, thrown to the ground, and then brought back. Some say that he was kicked. His other teammates had showed up and seen it. One of them was put in handcuffs, Calais Campbell, who plays for the Dolphins as well. And everybody wanted to wait and see when the police cam footage came out. The guys wear the cameras, and it's out. It is.
Yeah, we got it here. Look, was he a little mouthy? Yes. You decide for yourself what you think.
Hey, don't knock on my window like that. Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Don't knock on my window. Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Don't knock on my window like that, no. Like what? Don't knock on my window like that. Why you have it up? Don't knock on my window like that. Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. Don't knock that way you can lower it and talk to you. Just get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do. Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down. Hey!
Here we go.
Keep your window down. Don't tell me what. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car.
Oh God!
As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me that. Get out of the car. Give me that. I'm gonna break that freaking window. Get out of the car. I'm finna get out. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. I'm finna get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. What part of blood are you in this car? Hey, Drew. Hey, Drew. I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested.
He's calling his agent.
I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand? You understand? Not when you want, but when we tell you. Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee.
So now,
I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we go there. Chill, bro. Chill.
So now we're getting a little rough. Yeah, now we're getting a little rough. Was he ornery? Yes, I'm sure that not everyone is kind and nice to police. The traffic stops. I'm not advocating to treat police awful. I think there was a little. It didn't take three people to take him to the. I mean, he had just gotten knee surgery, and his knee is his livelihood. Much like if someone steps on our neck, our voice is our livelihood.
Who's stepping on our neck?
I'm just that's a ridiculous example, but like his knees are his livelihood.
Right. Well, they wanted him to keep the window down, but kind of in the same vein though. He's driving around. It's a Lamborghini he's in. They know who he is. It's right outside of the stadium. Literally, he's about to make the right into the stadium. Could he have handled it better?
Yeah.
Probably. He could have just kept the window down, got the ticket, and moved along a little bit.
Don't knock on my... Well, listen, I get it. You got a Lamborghini or whatever, but dude, like, just roll the window down. You don't have to tell the... You know what I mean?
In the same instance, you could hear within the video itself of something about surgery on his ears and things like that. So they knew who he was.
Why don't you get surgery on your ears, bro?
Right. So
there's a good one, cop.
So we were getting some of that as well. And I'm sure, and we love our boys and
we
women in blue.
We do.
Because you never know when you go to a traffic stop what's going to happen in certain situations. But I think both were at fault after me seeing that a little bit there.
I agree.
A little excessive, probably. Yeah, for sure. But you just make it easy. You just take the ticket and roll. Let me tell you something.
Had he not been Tyreek Hill, that would have ended a lot worse.
Yeah, but who knows? Yeah, it's possible. But it's just okay.
Yeah,
all right, we'll see what happens.
I'm with you.
Are we still doing this? Really? Wow. Okay. The JNN is puttering, be it around the 828, out in Canton, being lapped by silver sneakers at the French Broad River, or just rereading news by reputable news sources. The JNN is on your radio now on 105.9 The Mountain.
Elon Musk is not going to be wasting any time because he says that his SpaceX company will conduct its first crewed mission to Mars.
Oh, nice.
Within 4 years, he said.
Good.
All right.
Good.
So he wants to get it done. So he wants to get it done by 2026, if not sooner. But I'm sure it's not the easiest thing to get done. But probably somebody you don't underestimate when it comes to this kind of thing. So he's looking at 2028 now to be able to get that done. They're going to put an unmanned one up there to kind of like survey the scene in a sense. Before they actually get people and put them on to go to Mars.
Hey,
so.
How about this? Here's the scene. It's red. It's desolate. It takes 9 months to get there. There's no oxygen. There's no water. You'll die if you take your mask off. What's the point of going? Okay. There's the survey. It sucks.
All right. Thanks, Buzz. Thanks, Buzz.
What was
that about, Buzz?
Well,
We've asked them to stop, but they just keep making it worse. So we pick and choose our battles. The Jeff News Network, or as you might know it, the JNN, is on your radio, limping like it's anchored to the finish line. We promise it'll all be over soon, and then back to some music on 105.9 The Mountain.
All right, and authorities unmasked two men who are inside of a Spirit Halloween store with flashlights. They were actually wearing skeleton masks as they were in robbing the Halloween store. They were spotted in there by a bystander as they were pushing shopping carts around filled with costumes in the middle of the night. Now, if you're them, it maybe isn't that bad of an idea if you think about it, because they might think, hey, you're just somebody that's working there if you're wearing, a Halloween mask in a sense. So.
Generally, when working at a Halloween store, you don't wear a skeleton mask.
Wow,
but
maybe.
I suppose it could be assumed, and then, they don't necessarily look at the guy. But then again, you're drawing attention to yourself. There's men with skeletons walking around. So you're taking a big risk being a Skeletor.
Okay, well, Well, how would you rob a Spirit Halloween?
I'll tell you. I would rob a Spirit Halloween. You can actually go. I would go and say, hey, do you mind if I buy a shirt? I'll give you $50. Take the 50, get the Spirit Halloween shirt. Or I'd go in the back and get one for new employees, put it on, and I'd put like, hey, my name's Hoss. And I'd walk around and say, hey, how you doing? Can I help you, sir? Can I help you? And then I'd start stuffing stuff, and then I'd be like, Hoss has to take a break.
Right.
Then I'd go and I'd walk out, and like I took a break, but I would also have been helping customers, so you would have never known the wiser. Hoss got you, bro.
Is that generally how a Hoss talks?
Yeah, Hoss is like, I'm a Hoss.
Oh, good to know.
I got a slag on my boat, sir.
You're a pirate. All right, a Hoss is a pirate.
It's a Texan pirate.
Okay,
it's like a Texas Pete.
All right.
Or a Texas Hoss.
Go get your shekels. All right.
If you live in Weaverville, Woodfin, Anka, Black Mountain, Asheville, Fletcher, look, if you can hear this, we're trying our best to help them, and hey, it's gotten better, right? A little? Well, there's some music coming too. The Rizzo and Jeff Show will be back on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show, 7:07. And there is a TikTok trend, and I don't know if it's deeper than this. You'll hear the audio coming up, but there is a TikTok, influencer by the name of Mr. Jefferson's Train. Don't know what that is, but Mr. Jefferson's Train.
I like that name.
It's not a bad name, right? Mr. Jefferson's Train.
I tell you, I've seen some influencers. Mr. Jefferson's Train, I'm in.
You're in on Jefferson's Train?
Yeah.
Mr. Jefferson's Train. All right, so anyway, Mr. Jefferson's Train posted a TikTok video about teens who are wearing backpacks for children. And I'm talking like Dora the Explorer, Bob the Builder. So we'll play the audio from Mr. Jefferson's Train coming up after a little ZZ.
Check this out. I'm on the gram looking at it.
It is 105.9 The Mount Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show. A TikTok trend. I think it's a little deeper than this. I don't know, Jeff. Maybe you disagree. A TikTok influencer by the name of Mr. Jefferson's Train posted this.
we holding on to that little something that we used to have as little kids.
I feel like they're just trying to, go back to their old childhood memories. Since they're a senior, they're about to go to, a new college, start a new chapter in their life.
Yeah, I agree, because some people can't really comprehend that they grew up yet. So sometimes I like childish things too.
I think that these are students who have some anxiety about the future, and it's really nice to have a throwback to a time that was familiar and creative and fun.
So what are they talking about on Mr. Jefferson's train? In essence, what they're talking about is children, well, not children, teenagers, 16, 17, 18, 19, high school, college, wearing Dora the Explorer, Bob the Builder, Teletubbies, Spider-Man backpacks, like backpacks that the Bambine would wear. Actually, no, the Bambine's got like an Adidas cool one. Like we're talking child's backpacks, guys, man.
We're really thinking too deep. Why does everything have to be thought so deeply?
What are you talking about?
It was a trend that was online. People, the kids thought it would be silly. You go buy a child's backpack. One does it. A bunch of people do it, and you're done with it.
You can't fit anything in a child's backpack, Jeff.
What? Who carries books? So at the end of the day, who carries books anymore? So at the end of the day, what does it really matter? All right, it's way overthought. Nobody's going back to their childhood and thinking to themselves, let me do this. You just saw it online and you said this would be funny. One does it, you all do it, and ha, 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 and you move on.
So you're telling me a bunch of kids saw Mr. Jefferson and they said, we're just going to copy this because he's got a Dora the Explorer backpack? That's what this is all about?
It's basically that simple, yes. Like any other trend or something. Or now you get the trends from, of course, TikTok and everything else. But,
I know.
But us, everybody was doing crazy things back in the day and wearing crazy stuff. So
I wore parachute pants.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I remember having Cavaricis. Yeah, that was the MC Hammer time.
Yeah.
During that.
We did the gaudy hair.
The gaudy hair, remember that? Everybody went through like maybe a bit of a gothic phase.
Goth, a little goth. I don't think I ever wore kids' clothes, though. Like if somebody said, here, wear some Gerber.
Backpack. It's a backpack, though.
But dude, you're a grown man. It's going to look like you're wearing Barbie stuff.
But everybody thinks it's funny. It's silly.
It's not silly. It's not silly. What's silly?
Everybody's doing it. Okay? It's not a big deal.
All right. Well, you know what? This is... all right, thanks.
It's not that deep. Okay. Now we're thinking this is deep. Now what? We got the kids talking to counselors because they're wearing child's backpacks to be funny?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks, Mr.
Put
Jefferson.
them on a pill.
Pill.
Does your brain hurt? Do you feel confused? Well, we decided we're willing to buy you off. Text LUNCH to 828-240-1059 and you'll be entered to win lunch for you and 10 of your coworkers. Did that buy anyone off? We also have more music and more Rizzo and Jeff show soon on 1059 The Mountain.
There's going to be a celebration right here on the Rizzo and Jeff show. 1059 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock coming up. Yesterday, we got word around 3:30, 4 o'clock of a death, Jeff. And, for those of you who are new to the Rizzo and Jeff show, for those of you who are listening that have followed us around for years, you know that James Earl Jones has been a large part of our show. The Earl, as we called him. I wouldn't say large part. I would say he was
he's come up in conversation a few times.
Was he as big as Whoopi or Rosie? Probably not, but he was second tier.
Okay.
I mean, would you agree with that? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Well, thank you for that, because I just said them. I don't think he was that big of a part of the show.
Okay, well, I feel that he was.
Okay, all right.
So we are going to celebrate some of his best work.
Okay.
We're going to celebrate his life. We're going to talk about him. We're going to have him, we have him singing Justin Bieber. We have him doing some, national anthems.
Right.
We have him doing all kinds of stuff.
Well, look, I'm sure in his passing, before he went at the young age of 93 years old, he said, make sure that Rizzo and Jeff in Asheville give a good life retrospective of me, since I was such a big part of their show.
Well, say what you want, but I'll tell you this. It might be, to you, a little silly, but I'll tell you what. He died in Western New York. He knew about the show.
Okay.
He knew who we were.
A rough place to go.
That's
Western New York. I feel bad.
Actually, glad he's on to the Grand Illusion now.
Yeah.
You know?
I tell you, I might go into that somber voice you were just using when things started off when I heard that. All right, Earl, this one's for you. Next.
Please excuse me while I take a minute. It's 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's Classic Rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show.
Good coffee this morning.
Yeah. Yesterday, we lost a young legend. Ladies and gentlemen, James Earl Jones passed away. Darth Vader, you might know him as. You might know him as Mufasa. But he's been known for such his quality work throughout the years. He died alone in Western New York, which I have to tell you.
He wasn't alone. It's just being there feels lonely, but he wasn't alone.
I have to tell you, that if there's a place you don't want to go, that's the place.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So our thoughts and prayers are with the Earl family. But
Jones.
The Earl Jones family, I apologize. But James Earl Jones really was a staple of Americana. When you thought of America, you thought of James Earl Jones. He was legendary. And I thought that the only way to really honor him, Jeff, was to put together kind of some of his best workings. Mm-hmm. And so I figured I'd start it out with a goodbye, a lesson, and then into him doing some of his better work. And here it is. So this is for you, James.
One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Are we an item, girl? Quit playing. We're just friends. What are you saying? Said there's another, looked right in my eyes. My first love broke my heart for the first time.
So he begins to sing Justin Bieber's Baby. And I believe, he even did like some of the national anthems. I think that, obviously we know him as Mufasa. We know him as Darth Vader. I want to see if I can find that baby part, because that's really where he gets going.
Oh, yeah, is that where it really gets everybody? This is the memorable stuff that you want people to remember about James Earl Jones, where he's singing Justin Bieber songs.
Well, what's wrong?
Well, okay.
I was like, baby, 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 oh, like baby, 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 no, like baby, 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 oh. I thought you'd always be mine.
So I thought that was pretty memorable, right?
I'm sure that sticks out in everybody's mind about James Earl Jones.
What about when he did our nation's anthem?
And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, can that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Now you say to yourself, yes, why aren't you including Darth Vader? Why? Because you know Darth Vader.
Right.
You know Mufasa.
Right. Everybody was posted about that yesterday, for sure, yeah.
But do you know about Bell Atlantic telephones?
Some of his greatest work.
This is some of his best work.
Congratulations. You've opened up an auto repair shop. Question is, how do you find the autos that need repair and how do you steer them your way? Answer, with a very effective ad. An ad that gets results. An ad that will attract the people you want to attract. People who are seriously looking to do business. People who right now may be suffering from a broken cream puff. Drive your business with an ad in the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages, where people go to buy, find, or do just about anything.
Now, that's some quality work. And he evolved with the times, because that was the early 90s. Now we're getting into the mid-90s. The cell phones are becoming a little more prevalent, but we still need Yellow Pages.
Fact. The C&P Telephone Yellow Pages has more choices than any other book in Washington. But if you try to get all those choices into one volume, this is what you'd have. So, C&P gives you 2 books and 2 benefits. You get all those choices, and 2 easy-to-use volumes are better than the big guy. The genuine C&P Telephone Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
And he began doing a little dance at the end of that. And as you can see, he is now doing not only regional but national commercials for Bell Atlantic Telephone. And then before he became so old that he kind of couldn't do much, he right as cell phones were becoming somewhat mainstream, he switched from Bell Atlantic phone booking to Bell Atlantic telephone cell phone things.
With Bell Atlantic Mobile, you can make important calls from just about everywhere, like the "what time's the meeting" call or the "I can't make it" call. That's because everything we do is for one reason. That moment when you make the "we're going to be a little late" call.
Beth? Mom? Are you all right? Yes. Your father's just taking one of his shortcuts.
Your call goes through. A cell phone is only as good as the network it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
Well, he loved Bell Atlantic. His Bell Atlantic work was some of the best work that he has done.
Hope they didn't go over their minutes. You know what I mean?
Free nights and weekends.
Free nights and weekends.
Nights and weekends started at what time?
Yeah.
I think it was like 7?
Like 7 o'clock was when the free nights and weekends
But then
happened.
I think Bell Atlantic, which became singular, started it at 6, so everyone jumped over there.
Right.
And it was all because of James Earl Jones. So I feel like we should rest in peace.
Right, yes, for sure.
We're thinking about you. We love you. We're sending kisses. We're sending hugs.
Kisses to James Earl Jones.
I wish I could attend the funeral.
Yeah. Well, you can. You can do whatever you want.
I can't go to James Earl Jones' funeral.
Why not?
I mean, I have some vacation, but what am I going to do? Fly up there to Western New York and give him a kiss? They're going to say, who's this guy?
Yeah, who's this guy parading in, kissing him while he's laying in a casket? Yes. I'm sure they'd find that slightly bizarre.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you listened to the show yesterday, at least I'm not propping him up in a park. Now, if you're going to prop anyone into a park, that would be the guy to prop up in a casket, because at least people would know who it is.
Okay. Well, this is taking a turn. Hey, James. Rest in peace, my friend. Okay? All right.
Well, that was something. Rizzo and Jeff. One is obsessed with his dog, the other with fiber. And people want them to come over and hang out? Just consider yourself lucky you just have to hear them and not smell them. More Rizzo and Jeff show coming up after a quick break on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff show. Coming up, we have Listener Court, brought to you by our good friends at VOODOO Brewing right there in Arden. And this week, Jeff and I are pretty divided because of something that has gone viral. There is a man who bought a $70,000 engagement ring. Whew. Now, the engagement broke off. He wants the ring back. The woman believes that she deserves to keep it. Now, I agree that she does deserve to keep it. Is it expensive? Yes. Did anyone tell him to spend $70,000 on it? No, but there is a little bit of a story behind it. There is a little bit of audio behind it, and I don't know, maybe you might feel different.
The big story behind it is that they went to court on it. She got awarded it. He appealed it, and now it's going to the Massachusetts Supreme Court. That's how high this is heading now, over an engagement ring.
But it's because of something that he alleges that so basically, this is the audio quickly.
The ring is either yours or it's mine. It's supposed to be a symbol of love and commitment, but now a $70,000 engagement ring has become a bitter battle between a former couple and a case that has made its way to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court.
And award the engagement ring and wedding band back to Mr. Johnson.
According to court documents, Johnson bought the ring, one similar to this one, from Tiffany's in Boston, paying more than $70,000. Soon after, he called off the engagement because he says his bride-to-be was verbally abusive and thought she was cheating on him.
Now, there's no proof of that. You break off the engagement, that's on you. You do not get the ring back because you're a crazy, jealous person.
No, you never got to the altar.
So what?
So it doesn't matter. If you didn't make it to the altar and it ends beforehand and she was a pain to deal with,
Oh,
okay?
then why did you give her a $70,000 Tiffany's ring, Jeff?
People show their true colors at times, after time. So it belongs to go back. It's $70,000, and this is why it's going to the Supreme Court. It goes back to him now, okay? You didn't get to the altar.
But he thinks maybe she cheated. There's no proof. Okay, listen, 828-240-1059. Okay, 828-240-1059. What do you guys think? Should this ring be returned? That's kind of going to be the crux of listener court. I'll play for you the entire audio clip. But to me, you break off the engagement. You bought the ring. Now you're whimpering and whining because you want your money back. Boo-hoo, bro. You know, if you don't like dinner, you don't ask for your money back 3 weeks later.
It's not the same thing.
Yes, it is,
You didn't make it to the altar. I don't care if it ended because she refused to wash her underwear. It doesn't matter how it ended.
It absolutely matters.
You didn't get to the altar. Return the ring. Okay?
Okay, 828-240-1059. What do you think? That's the crux of Listener Court today. Again, brought to you by our good friends at VOODOO Brewing. Shout out to Bill and all the people down there in Arden. We're very excited, but Listener Court is next.
Something? At this point, something is the bar we're shooting for, so we've reached it. What do you expect? You get what you get. The Rizzo and Jeff Show will be back on 105.9 The Mountain. It's time for Listener Court. Kind of like Kramer and Kramer, but not as good. Or educated, or without real lawyers. Okay, it's just Rizzo and Jeff, and they're kind of upset about something and need your help. Listener Court begins now. Court is in session on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is the Rizzo and Jeff Show on 105.9 The Mountain at 8:05. Listener Court brought to you by our good friends at VOODOO Brewing Company down there in Arden. Jeff, go down there, check them out. They have awesome food, place to bring your dog, hang out. It's a great place, great food, great beer, great time.
You nailed it.
This is what Listener Court is about. It's very simple.
The ring is either yours or it's mine.
Yours or mine. So, the ring is yours or mine.
It's supposed to be a symbol of love and commitment, but now a $70,000 engagement ring has become a bitter battle between a former couple in a case that has made its way to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court.
And award the engagement ring and wedding band back to Mr. Johnson.
According to court documents, Johnson bought the ring, one similar to this one, from Tiffany's in Boston, paying more than $70,000. Soon after, he called off the engagement because he says his bride-to-be was verbally abusive and thought she was cheating on him.
Okay, verbally abusive, thought she was cheating on him. Now, should the ring be given back, yes or no? I say absolutely. Unequivocally, absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. There is no proof. And you will hear. I mean, it says it. There's no proof that this woman cheated. It's his word against hers. Oh, verbally abusive. What does that mean? She's grumpy. She's in a bad mood. She already won. And by the way, I have court precedent on my side.
She would have stayed. She would have stuck it out. A trial court ruled in her favor, saying Johnson was at fault for calling off the engagement, and right now she gets to keep the ring.
So, a trial court and the state appellate court upheld the decision that she gets to keep the ring. You ask somebody to marry you, whether you spend $7, $70,000, or $700,000, and you call off the engagement unless something nefarious happens. You're cheated on. Something of that nature. You have a prenuptial agreement. You make somebody sign something. That ring is a gift. That ring is yours. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it, Jeff.
They didn't make it to the altar. You give it back. It doesn't matter at this point. You didn't get there. It's no longer yours.
It absolutely... Listen, 828-240-1059, okay? You're going to hear Jeff's side coming up next, but I want you to keep this in the back of your mind, okay? I don't care. Jeff is going to harp on the fact that it's $70,000. Forget the monetary value. The question is simple. If you call off an engagement to a woman, should you be entitled to keep the ring? The answer is no. 2 courts have already said so. And this guy just won't stop. And you know why? Because he's got sour grapes. He realized he didn't like her. Not her fault. She should at least get the ring.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right.
828-240-1059. What do you think? Jeff's side is next after Led Zeppelin. It's 1059 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock.
It's time for part 2 of Listener Court. You heard one side, now it's time for the other. And then you'll decide who gets punished this week. Listener Court continues now.
It is 1059 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, and it is time for Listener Court. We're in the middle of it. It is Jeff's turn, but Jeff said play the audio again. So the audio again, we are talking about if you are in the middle of an engagement and you break it off as a man and you buy a woman a ring, should you give it back?
The ring is either yours or it's mine. It's supposed to be a symbol of love and commitment, but now a $70,000 engagement ring has become a bitter battle between a former couple and a case that has made its way to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court.
And award the engagement ring and wedding band back to Mr. Johnson.
According to court documents, Johnson bought the ring, one similar to this one, from Tiffany's in Boston, paying more than $70,000. Soon after, he called off the engagement because he says his bride-to-be was verbally abusive and thought she was cheating on him, which she denies.
She would have stayed. She would have stuck it out.
A trial court ruled in her favor, saying Johnson was at fault for calling off the engagement, and right now she gets to keep the ring.
Therefore, two courts have already ruled in favor.
Well, this is heading to the Supreme Court of Massachusetts, and I even think that the women that love this program would agree with me on this. That ring belongs to go back to the man, to him. A $70,000 engagement ring that was purchased
on the money.
That was purchased at Tiffany, which I'm sure is a beautiful ring. But the situation that happened was that she was verbally abusive, was that he believed, and, you know, sometimes intuition is right, that she was cheating, and he said, you know what, this is just not going to work out. Let me get out of this. At least he had the smarts to get out of it now before it turned into something worse, and he went through with it. If you don't make it to the altar and get married, then guess what? The engagement ring gets returned to the man. It's as simple as can be. It's not that complicated, and it should go back to him. It didn't work out. Things happen. That is life. But now you just want to keep the ring to be spiteful.
No.
And that's not the right way to do things.
It didn't work out because he thought she was cheating. However, she won in two courts, and there is no evidence of her cheating, Jeff.
All right, look, if you agree with me on this, and I think we're going to get a lot of that on Listener Court, 828-240-1059. We do have tickets to the Black Crows for participating in the show today. But I'm going to tell you, look, that ring, it's to the Supreme Court now. And I think he's going to pull this one off for all men out there, and he's going to get that ring back, my friend.
We shall see. 828-240-1059. Do you agree with me, or do you agree with Jeff?
Okay, you've heard both sides. It's time to pass your ruling. So put on your best Judge Judy or Night Court hat and call now. 828-240-1059. One of these guys is going home unhappy. The ruling is next on 1059 The Mountain.
It is 1059 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff show. $70,000 engagement ring. Should it go back to the man? Sherry, what say you?
First, I have a question. I'm not familiar with the case. So, did he give her the ring on a holiday or a special occasion?
He did not. I guess the special occasion was the engagement. It was presented as a gift, which is why she won into lesser courts. And he said he broke off the engagement because he felt that she was cheating. No evidence of that. That's why she has won in court thus far. It's gone all the way to the Supreme Court.
I personally would not keep the ring, but I think she should. If she was not cheating on him, that's his problem.
Right, because maybe he found a newer model. Maybe he found somebody better. Maybe he found somebody different. If she wasn't cheating, it's hers.
Sherry, they didn't make it to the altar. Forget it. It's over. Hand it back.
Yeah, but, that's his end of the bargain. Is he made that promise to her, then he broke that promise. If she did nothing wrong, she's still upholding her end until he broke off the engagement.
Well, Sherry, he did say that she could be grumpy at times. So is that not her?
Can't we?
Yeah, I am so with you.
I'm never grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm always positive.
The king of the grumps.
Yeah.
But see, at least that's what a lady's point of view. If you did nothing, now if she cheated, wouldn't you say that'd be a different story?
100% different story. Give that back if you cheated on him. But if you didn't cheat on him and you didn't do anything wrong, and you're upholding your end of the bargain, keep that ring, baby.
That's right. All 70,000 and all, and I think the court's going to agree with her too. Sherry, I appreciate it. Hang on for just 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Jeff, there it is. 70 grand or not. Sherry just told you like it was.
Yeah, she did. Give me a little bit of a spanking there,
A bit of a Sherry spanking, huh? We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, guys. More of the Rizzo and Jeff show. We got a little Black Crow, speaking of which. The very same band we are qualifying you for participating in listener court today. 828-240-1059. 70 grand or not. Does the ring belong back with the man who bought it if the woman did nothing wrong? 828-240-1059. Sherry's first up. She says no. What say you? 1059, the Mount Nashville's Classic Rock, the Rizzo and Jeff show, 829. And we are in the middle of listener court, brought to you by our good friends at VOODOO Brewing right down there in Arden. An awesome place to go. Great food, great atmosphere. Shout out to Bill and everyone for sponsoring listener court. VOODOO Brewing. You can check them out, tagged on the 1059 The Mountain Facebook. But Jeff, we're in the middle of a debate here because there's a case before the Massachusetts Supreme Court regarding an engagement ring, a man who broke it off, and how now he wants his ring back, even though...
Yeah, well...
Why? Because he broke it off?
Well, a $70,000 engagement ring, and it's been going back and forth in the courts, like you said, so it got to the Supreme Court. But, she's a miserable. And that's the problem. She's miserable.
A miserable. All right. I'm glad you know.
He's suspecting her of cheating. All right. So
of which there is no proof.
So he wants the ring back. And I contend that if you don't make it to the altar, for whatever the scenario may be, that the ring needs to go back to him. That's it. That's just how it works. You didn't make it to the altar, so forget it. Ring back to him.
828-240-1059. I'm going to let you hear the audio, and then I'm going to try to get a call or two in here and see what people think. But this is where the case is at.
Yours or it's mine?
It's supposed to be a symbol of love and commitment, but now a $70,000 engagement ring has become a bitter battle between a former couple and a case that has made its way to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court.
And award the engagement ring and wedding band back to Mr. Johnson.
According to court documents, Johnson bought the ring, one similar to this one, from Tiffany's in Boston, paying more than $70,000. Soon after, he called off the engagement because he says his bride-to-be was verbally abusive and thought she was cheating on him, which she denies.
She would have stayed. She would have stuck it out.
A trial court ruled in her favor, saying Johnson was at fault for calling off the engagement, and right now, she gets to keep the ring.
And that's the way it should be. 828-240-1059. Let's get to our friend Neil here. Neil, what do you think, huh?
She should keep it. I mean, you give somebody a piece of gum and they chew it. Do you want it back?
Oh, come on. Now,
Neil,
look,
I'm so...
We're talking,
Neil,
we're talking fruit-striped gum, or we're talking this? I mean, come on, Neil.
He's putting monetary value on it. You're talking principle. It doesn't matter if it's $7 or $70,000, right?
That's right. Same with a piece of gum. Whether it cost a penny or 10 million, he give it to her as a gift. It's hers.
Oh,
yes,
boy, Neil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Neil, if she did nothing wrong, and now he's poo-pooing it because whether he wanted to trade up to a newer caboose or whatever the case may be.
You're making things up.
Well, wait a minute. You're saying, Jeff's sitting over there saying that it just because it's expensive, it belongs back. If you don't make it to the altar, you made a promise. You're the one who broke the promise. She didn't.
Well, you give it to, hey, if you ever give somebody a Christmas gift, or you go take it back if you get mad at them?
That's it. Neil.
I think about it.
Well, Jeff would. But you know what?
Come on, wake up and smell the roses this morning. He give it to her as a gift. It's hers.
It is hers. All 70 grand of it, Neil. I appreciate it. I appreciate.
Hey, y'all have a good day.
You too, man. Thank you for your call. We appreciate you. It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock. Wow.
Wow.
Look at that. Woo, you thought they were coming for the Jeffy.
Was feeling good.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Where are we at now? 2 votes for me, 0 for Jeff. 828-240-1059. Let's end this misery. Put him out of it. Put some sense into this man
Come
here.
on.
Listener Court, every Tuesday at 8 a.m. on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock. That was The Doors. Right now, I am ahead 2 votes to nothing in this idea, Jeff. $70,000 engagement ring. Guy breaks off the engagement, wants it back. The court says no. Now they're at the Supreme Court.
Well, here's the thing. They are the Supreme Court in Massachusetts, but the thing is that the woman was miserable, verbally abusive, possibly could have cheated. He should get the engagement ring back. They have not made it to the altar.
That is ridiculous. Absolutely not. And I have a feeling that hopefully our next caller will stand with me and we can make a clean sweep of this. Derek's on the phone. Derek, good morning. What do you think here, huh?
No, I'm getting the ring back. I gave you that ring in lieu of us getting married, and we did not get married, so that's my ring. I paid for it. You're giving it back to me.
That's right. The whole goal is to get to the altar, and if you're a pain in the butt and it didn't work out, then it comes back to me.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, Derek, now, if it wasn't $70,000, okay? If it wasn't $70,000, would it matter as much to you?
Probably not, but it's still coming back to me whether it was $10.
So whether it was
that in lieu of us getting married, and we didn't get married. So
that's right.
So you're telling me, even though there's no proof this woman cheated, this woman did nothing wrong other than maybe be a little bit of a crab.
She did something wrong, Rizzo. Something happened here.
Evidently.
You know what, man? I appreciate it. Hang on for just 1 second. You're qualified for those Black Crows tickets. Let's see. What do you think here? Hello?
Jimmy.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, Jimmy. What do you think, man?
Well, I think maybe he found somebody else or done something.
Right.
But maybe he wants to give it to somebody else.
I get it, Jimmy, but guess what? She didn't do anything wrong. According to the court, 2 courts said that it was hers. She didn't cheat. There's no proof of it. He wants it back. He's got sour grapes. If it wasn't $70,000, would it matter?
I don't think so. I think he should still get it back.
Right. You're right, Jimmy. They didn't make it to the altar.
So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you're
get it back.
if it was $45 the ring, would you care, Jimmy?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give it to somebody else if I thought she was cheating on me.
Right.
But
Jimmy doesn't care if it's a Jimmy doesn't care if it's a ring pop. He wants it back because he thinks she cheated. He doesn't trust her. Don't go through with it.
All right, Jimmy, hang on for just 1 second. I appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. More of your calls. What do you think? 828-240-1059. Looks like I am getting smoked already in listener. I need people. Where are the smart people here? I was ahead 2-0, and now it's 2-2. Are you kidding me? Seriously?
Look, here's the thing. The deciding vote is going to happen. And I'm not saying that I am sitting here with tickets to see the Black Crows and I could possibly give them to somebody, but I just want you to think logically in this situation, okay?
828-240-1059. Your vote. The next vote breaks this 2-2 tie. Who's it going to be? What's it going to go? Are you going to go smart like me? Or are you going to go greedy and grumpy like Pup-Up Jeff?
Give that man the ring back.
And you people can never make it easy. It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock. That was AC/DC. Now we got Rick and John on the phone, so it's all about who I pick here now. We're going to take them both, but as a fellow Richard...
Okay, you're going to go Rick.
I'm going to go Rick. So I'm going to go Rick on line 1, and then we'll see what John says, see if I made the right choice. Now, Rick, good morning. What do you think here, Rick?
Hey, I tell you what, a wedding ring is supposed to be a symbol of love. So why would she even want it? What's she going to do? Give it to somebody else and love them like she loved that fella?
No.
That's right, Rick.
Ring back.
Give the ring back, says Rick. You went on a Richard.
Rick, I went with you because we share the same name. I thought you would be with me, Rick.
Hey, well, I'm sorry, but the truth is the truth. The fact's a fact. She got the ring because she's supposed to love him. She don't love him. He don't love her. Give the ring. But every time she looks at the thing, she's going to think of him.
Well,
so
she's
why
also...
would she want to wear it?
Because she's got $70,000 in her pocket, Rick.
Money don't matter, man. It don't matter. Love is love. Rings are rings. That's what the ring was for. Give the ring back.
Oh,
Rick.
well, Rick, that was eloquent.
That was eloquent
Rick.
and beautiful. Hang on, Rick. That was unbelievable. Well, let's see what John would have said. Maybe, John, what do you think here, huh?
Hey, I got to go with Jeff on this situation.
Oh, there we go, John. Thank you, John.
I would have lost you.
And the only reason why I say this is that they didn't make it to the altar, and he spent the money, whether it was $10 or $1 million, whatever it was. He spent the money on the ring. The ring should go back to him because he spent the money. Now,
okay,
maybe it didn't work out because she was being a little crabby, or he thinks she cheated on her. Regardless of the fact, it didn't work out, and the ring should go back.
Wow,
John.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I got to tell you, I just got a beating. That was decisive. Hang on, John. Don't go anywhere. More of the Rizzo and Jeff Show coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Well, I guess I thought you guys were smarter than you really are.
No. They are intelligent. Every one of them. Yep.
Okay. All right. Jeff with the win on Listener Court, brought to you by VOODOO Brewing. It's 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's Classic Rock. We'll be right back.
Okay, it's clear they learned nothing. So we'll have to do this again next week. Another edition of Listener Court next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Or you can pick up anywhere you left off, anywhere podcasts are found, by searching Rizzo and Jeff in the Morning.
It's 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's Classic Rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show. And listen, if you don't know, I recently purchased an automobile. And Listener Court today was going to be about what I should name my car. However, before we discuss that, I haven't decided if it's a male or a female. I'll give you an example. My last car, the Cadillac, was Betty White. It was a lady, a beautiful lady, a silver fox. Coming up, I'd like to maybe suss this out with you a little bit because I'm having a really hard time. And maybe I'll post some pictures on the 105.9 The Mountain Facebook page later. You can take a look at it. There's a video. It got like 2,000 views. And I don't know. I mean, is a Civic, is that manly? Is it not? Do I name what? I mean, I can't even begin to name it until I know the sex of the car.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. This is keeping you up at night.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
And we'll have to talk this out. Okay?
Can we talk it out?
The sex of your car,
right? Because then once I figure out the sex of the car, I then can name the car. I just can't name the car. I can't call it Coach and then have it be. I guess I could call it Coach, have it be a man or a woman. Okay, I can't call it like Pete and have it be a woman. Then I can't call it Rosie and have it be a man.
Rosie. No, I think it's too small of a car. To be honest with you, it's a Civic, man. Not a conversion van.
Like the Costanzas we're in?
Yeah.
Do I have a unisex car? It's 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's Classic Rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show. Here's my situation, okay? For those of you who have been listening to the show for a while, thank you. You know the situation. For those of you who are new to the program, welcome. In May 17th, I was driving to work. It was 3:28 in the morning, and I was going down the hill of the mountain in which I live, and my car gave out and drove on someone's lawn. I then had to run back up the hill, take Baby Hand's car to work, and it has been craziness ever since. I've been looking for a car, and I finally found one after months because I would go to these used car lots, and I just didn't like the way I was treated.
Well, they're killing you.
It was financially a lot of them were. I happened to go to Jeff's Auto Sales, which is right up Leicester Highway. Dude was cool. As of right now, the car is fine. Could blow up tomorrow. I'm knocking on wood, hoping it doesn't. But he was nice, seemed honest, so I got a car from him. I got a Honda Civic, okay? It's white, okay? Now, the Cadillac, albeit beautiful, was a beautiful lady. Okay? The Honda Civic, to me, I can't determine if this is a man car or a woman car. I can't decide what to name it. So I have to sex the car before I name the car.
Here's the problem why you can't figure out how to sex it.
Okay.
You are driving a unisex car.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, it just generally is. And when you look up, kind of sexes of car, I did not think this was a thing, but your car, the Honda Civic in white, and that year is a unisex car, and that's why you're struggling to come up with a name for it.
But what makes it a unisex car?
Because it's
got a sunroof. It is cool looking.
It's extremely manly, yet it's not very effeminate. Okay, that's kind of where you're at with it. So so you're driving, and it's Pat. Is what you're driving.
I am. I'm driving in its Pat. So, 828-240-1059, I kind of maybe need somebody who, maybe you have a Civic, maybe you have a Honda. Mm-hmm. Maybe you kind of can share some insight into this, because where I'm stuck at is I was thinking about going with just another Golden Girls name, but it doesn't seem to fit that car.
No, you're driving
I was going to go with Maud.
No.
It didn't seem to fit.
You're driving
right?
you're driving a Chris. Or you're driving a Robin. You got to think
Robin?
You got to think of unisex. You're driving a Leslie. You're driving, just unisex names.
Frankie.
Just sure.
A Jordan.
Sure. Right. Right.
Okay, so here's my thought, though.
Quinn.
A Quinn. Okay, I see. So then I think Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
That's it. But then Quinn Snyder, who he is a coach, and in the NBA. Okay.
Okay. Well, here's my thought on that, though. So, Baby Hand suggested I name the car Niles. Do you see it as a Niles? Because to me, that's wimpy.
Yeah, no, I don't see Niles with it necessarily, no. And I see where was she heading the Frasier realm with that?
She was kind of heading the Frasier realm because she knows my love of Frasier, but at the same time, I don't want to just name it something because I like it. Like, again, Maud. I would love to name it Maud, but to me, this white Honda Civic does not seem like a Maud. And if you have not seen it, you can go to the 1059 The Mountain Facebook page. It has 2,000 views, this video of just me showing you around. It looks nice. It's just maybe, is it the white? Like, if it was red, we could say that it was a manly car.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, but if it's Maud, you're driving a 1970s Plymouth Volare. Okay? That's very Maud.
That's very Maud.
Right.
Okay, so like a Datsun.
Right.
Okay, all right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can help out. 1059 The Mountain. Hello.
Hey, you're having trouble gendering a car, I see.
Yes, I am having trouble gendering a car.
It's very much a struggle this morning.
Yeah.
I definitely want to give my opinion on the matter.
Please.
I believe wholeheartedly. Pardon?
No, please.
Go ahead.
I'm calling in from Mars Hill today, and I believe that Honda is a chaotic, hard-working energy kind of masculine dude car. It's kind of like the fella that's getting out to work on the railroad in the morning to smoke a cigarette and get in there with everybody else.
So if it's a cigarette smoking hard worker, is it a stew? Like, does it need a rough name? Is it like a Stewart, or are you thinking like, is that a Buzz?
A Stewart? Stewart sounds like a pretty good one.
Stewart? Okay, so you're saying without a doubt, unequivocally, a Honda Civic, we sex it as a male car.
Absolutely. If it were gray, it would be no question.
Yeah.
See, it would be no question a female because I had a gray Cadillac and it was Betty.
Yeah.
See, this is, you're thinking out there, Marcel. I appreciate you working hard and thinking and reaching out. So he believes because it's white, and it's a Civic. Well, a white Civic is different than a gray Civic, which is different than a red Civic. But he unequivocally thinks it's a hardworking masculine man. Now, he thinks Stewart or Buzz.
Yeah, I don't like either of those.
You don't like?
No, I'm not feeling it. So, look, I think we're going to need to take the night to think this through.
Okay, maybe we talk about this tomorrow, earlier in the in the show. I just kind of wanted to throw it out. Maybe I don't know. I just don't know how to gender this car.
I think around rush hour when more people are in the car, somebody will be in a Civic.
Yeah, somebody has to be,
and we'll get more into it.
Because I've seen women, I've seen men. I just don't know what to do. Do I have a man or a woman?
I think you got a Pat, but
I think I got a Pat.
You got a Pat. And that can be a rough place to be sometimes. All right?
Yes, it can.
Well, that was something. At this point, something is the bar we're shooting for, so we've reached it. What do you expect? You get what you get. The Rizzo and Jeff Show will be back on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, and the Rizzo and Jeff Show. Right around this time, if you're driving or you're on the job, you know it's time to get sparkly. And in honor of the car who I have yet to figure out if it's a boy or girl car, we're going to razzle and dazzle for him or her today. I got a very special razzle dazzle from a restaurant chain that wants to bring America together again.
From Tinseltown to the 828 and beyond, it's time to razzle dazzle on the Rizzo and Jeff Show. All the things that are not fit to print, talk about, mention, discuss, or frankly that important but somehow find their way here. We're sorry, and yes, Jeff can't stand it either. Time for Rizzo's Razzle Dazzle on 105.9 The Mountain. Sorry.
Yeah, seriously, you don't have to say that. Anyway, so Jeff, you do an adequate job at informing the people with the Jeff News Network, but I didn't hear anything about bringing this country together this morning in your news.
Well, I figured that's because of the debates tonight, and you know what's going to happen. I don't know.
Well,
so we'll see.
That's true, but no matter what side of the political aisle you fall, there is a restaurant that is going to give you free food for an entire presidential term. Now, will they be around for the entire presidential term of whoever becomes president? No. Have they been making bad business decisions, like having Flavor Flav be their spokesperson? Yes.
Well, he really sped up the demise.
Have they filed for Chapter 11? Yes, they have. But they also are thinking about togetherness.
It's dinner in America. As the sun rises on today, men and women continue to have the opportunity to eat Cheddar Bay biscuits at Red Lobster. With plates of delicious lobster, shrimp, and crab served around every basket, the dreams of a Cheddar Bay filled tomorrow are being fully baked today. It's dinner in America, and under the leadership of Cheddar Bay biscuits, our country is happier, cheesier, and more united for the butter. Cheddar Bay 2024. One bite can unite.
Now, for those of you who don't know, that was a play on the Morning in America from the, I believe, 1980 or 84 election, the Reagan Mondo, I think. I forget. But either way, Dinner in America. Your thoughts about, can they bring us together? Can Cheddar Bay Biscuits bring us together as a nation so divided?
Let's take advice from a company that collapsed because of the economy and bad business decisions.
Well, okay, listen.
What do you want me to tell you?
Listen, look. Do I believe that Flavor Flav was the right guy to really put all your chips in on?
Mm-hmm.
No. Do I believe that maybe they thought they could capitalize on a viral moment and maybe salvage their business while filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings? Perhaps. Do I think that giving away an entire 4 years' worth of free food helps that business model, especially considering that they're underpricing their foods as it is? No. But my question is, what happens if they do go under, which they do plan to close? Mm-hmm. How can you make these promises? These are foolhardy. This is foolhardy promises.
Well, I think that could be the joke, coming in on the back end of this, that, they know they're going down and they can't do much of anything. Chapter 11 protection. But at the end of the day, it's just nobody's paying $1 million to go out and eat, 2 crab legs and nothing but butter. It didn't work out for you. Okay?
Well, it's not that. It's that they had endless shrimp, then they do endless lobster, then they do endless crab. These are expensive sea meats.
These are some hefty, expensive bottom feeders.
These are hefty and high dollar, sea meats.
And when your liabilities and you can't figure it out, they're either between $1 billion and $10 billion.
That's a big. Wait. So between 1 and 10 billion, that's a lot of.
Yeah,
that's a big difference in liability.
Thanks for the help, Flavor Flav. Boy.
Okay, well, we hope that you're laughing and trying to figure out how these guys come up with this stuff. Truthfully, we don't have a clue, and we don't really want to. The Rizzo and Jeff Show tries hard. Doesn't that count? We'll be right back on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show, and it is that time of the day.
Rizzo and Jeff tried to do their work today, but just couldn't quite get it done. So here's where they try to cram it all in at the end. It's what didn't make the show on 105.9 The Mountain.
Let's get this out of the way right away, okay? This was an abomination.
And now, together for the first time, here are the stars of our show, Ryan Seacrest and Vanna White.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
The set was weird.
Let's do it.
They're just like, let's do it. And then he comes out and he gives this weird speech.
Good to see you too.
Oh.
Welcome.
Here we go.
Nice to have you. Welcome to Wheel of Fortune. I am your host, Ryan Seacrest. I still can't believe my luck being here with you tonight to continue this legacy of this incredible show with all of you. And of course, my good friend Vanna White.
Who, by the way, you're trying to kick off the show, but that's another story for another day.
Warm welcome. Hosting Wheel of Fortune is a dream job. I've been a fan of this show since I was a kid watching it in Atlanta with my family, and I know how special it is that Wheel has been in your living rooms for the past 40 years.
Well,
you know, look,
I
guess you give everybody
a bum
chance.
steer.
I'm sure our first show sucked. I don't remember too much.
Let me tell you something. It might have been a bum steer, but it wasn't that bum steer. At least we stay in our lane, okay? We're not game show hosts.
The set was it looked weird to me. Something was just different. Yeah, it didn't feel like a Wheel of Fortune set. I can't explain it.
It cut me the wrong way.
Yeah.
It cut me deep.
We'll see.
Rizzo and Jeff tried to do their work today, but just couldn't quite get it done. So here's where they try to cram it all in at the end. It's what didn't make the show on 105.9 The Mountain.
Just a quick lesson for you before I get to the final thing. Very important. You're wondering how long you leave your za out without any bacteria getting into your esophagus to get bacterial meningitis? We have the answer.
We found about 2,600 cells per gram of pizza. Fairly low level of microbes were present on that pizza. Things like fresh produce and fresh fruits can have anywhere from 1,000 to maybe 10,000 cells per gram on them. So what we see here is that even if we had it sit out for 6 hours, that still seems to be relatively low risk.
So they're saying 6 hours, relatively low risk. You leave a pizza out for up to 24 hours and eat it just fine.
I don't care what's on it. I'm eating it. It is what it is. If I paid for it.
Meningitis or not?
Worry about it then.
Yeah, all right.
Rizzo and Jeff tried to do their work today, but just couldn't quite get it done. So here's where they try to cram it all in at the end. It's what didn't make the show on 105.9 The Mountain.
And if you haven't heard, this is the word bird. James Earl Jones is no longer with us.
Didn't make it.
He unfortunately passed in a awful place called Western New York. And it is a terrible place to be, and I'm so sorry that he passed there. But I figured to honor him, we would just put together his two best, in my opinion, collaborative works.
One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
Are we an item, girl? Quit playing. We're just friends. What are you saying? Said there's another, looked right in my eyes. My first love broke my heart for the first time. And I was like, baby, 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 oh. Like baby, 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 no. Like baby, 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 oh. I thought you'd always be mine. Mine.
Rest in peace, James Earl Jones.
Oh, so you end it with James Earl Jones singing Justin Bieber. Yeah. I bet he's coming down to haunt you whenever he gets a chance. Okay?
Look, he died in Western New York. He's been haunted enough.
I agree.
Does your brain hurt? Do you feel confused? Well, we decided we're willing to buy you off. Text LUNCH to 828-240-1059 and you'll be entered to win lunch for you and 10 of your coworkers.
Did that buy anyone off?
We also have more music and more Rizzo and Jeff show soon on 105.9 The Mountain.